Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Master Duel. I put this on a small break for a bit just because I was waiting for the archetype that you see here in front of you. K9 is finally here on Master Duel and the triangle of the Justice Hunters archetypes are all finally present. And I have not faced hide nor hair of this archetype in the rank ladder like at all. And I know that they're powerful and I know what they do. And one of them got restricted on release, which is Jokul, and I believe this is one of the more important extenders in the archetype, hence his semi-limit, because he won't need to be as consistent. There were also hits to the engine that is usually paired with K9, and that is a Vanquish Soul. And while the triangle of Justice Hunters is all here, it's still a battle between, as you can see here, Yummy and Dracotail. And in the interim of me taking a small break from recording for Master Duel, I have been playing in the background, and oh boy, Dracotail is definitely not an easy matchup for me. If my Dracotail opponent doesn't screw up their combos or interacts with me in the wrong way, well, let's just say they can very easily take over whatever Yummy is doing. But if the opposite happens to me, of course, I'm the one who wins. And then, as well, there were a lot of changes to the ban list. The Ryziel deck lost their field spell, so they will no longer have a free form of negation on their board. They're just a very fair level 4 spam Xyz deck now, so there is that. But they still do have their rank 4 searcher for Mitsurugi in King of the Feral Imps, but with Master Duel being as powerful as it is, I mean, I will not be surprised if we see them somewhere. And then, I also just realized that Master Duel is 4 years old now, so in line with that, we got alt arts for SP Little Knight, and I haven't gotten it yet, but I do plan on getting it soon, the alt art for IP Mascarena. However, we got another exclusive here on Master Duel that is not Promethean Princess. We have WP Fancy Ball, another exclusive here on Master Duel. Basically, they're gonna test this out first, see if this will stick the landing. But if it doesn't, then it'll just be a really good Link 3. All things considered, it basically combines the effects of both IP Mascarena and SP Little Knight onto one really neat package. So there is that. But apart from that, nothing changed with my deck in particular. Just had to get rid of a few cards here and there. Maxi finally being limited to 1. So now it's a really sacky one-of that has so many counters, it's not even funny. So there is that. But apart from that, yeah, I hope to face off against K9 Vanquish Souls somewhere on the rank ladder. I'm getting tired of Dracotail already because 5 mana needs to be answered on the ban list somehow. And, you know, everything else is fine, but 5 mana being a quick effect fusion is the most annoying part about it. And something needs to be done about her, but we'll just see what Konami does in the coming months. And yeah, without further ado, let's hop into these duels. 1 Dodero, so I may stand a very high chance of accomplishing my shenanigans here. And this is the perfect opening hand. A Yummy name and then some ways to bait out the negation. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use Habakiri, and I have been practicing in the background in the interim of me not recording Master Duel for a bit. And the one I'm fun of, Maxi is here. Great. We'll still do our usual things. We're just not gonna go too far. So, we're gonna special summon Saji from the deck. Then we'll tribute off Saji. You know how this goes. Then we're gonna use Saji's effect. Let's see if my opponent has anything for that. No, they do not. Now we're gonna use Mitsurugi Ritual. And then we're gonna play the Mitsurugi Ritual. And then we'll special summon from the deck. There we go. We're gonna special summon Murakumo. There we go. This is already like decent enough, but we'll definitely need more in the upcoming turns. Especially if my opponent has the one I'm fun of to counter my shit right away. Although they do have a small extra deck, so that is already immediately concerning. We'll find out soon enough if it will amount to anything. Now that that's there, we'll sadly have to summon again. We will summon the Habakiri from the graveyard by tributing off the Murakumo. There we go. And then we'll summon the Murakumo later once we've worn off this Max C. We're gonna try to bait even more shenanigans out of my opponent, but I don't think they're gonna fall for it. So we'll get the last Mitsurugi prayers from the deck, and we'll leave Murakumo in the graveyard. So yeah, this is it. Your move, opponents. Hopefully a Murakumo negate and board wipe is going to be more than enough to stop whatever it is you're gonna do. I'll find out soon enough anyway. And the attack negation that Habakiri provides is not nothing, but I would have preferred we had more hand traps. But we just have 2 points of interaction, and my opponent has Royal Magical Library, so we'll sadly have to do this. Will we tribute a monster? No, we'll just summon from the graveyard. There we go. Special summon the monster to the field. Yes, please. We'll get the Murakumo down. We'll kill that Royal Magical Library. And we'll try and negate something out of their hand, because there's only one deck that uses this, and it's Exodia. So we'll see if they do it. Monster Reborn is not nothing, but they have plenty of cards in hand, so they have a lot to discard, so we'll let that go for now. What we should negate are the draw spells that this deck has, and there's plenty of them, so we'll see what they do here. Alright, Cursed Bamboo Sword is the beginning of the shenanigans, so we'll keep waiting. The Golden Bamboo Sword is the one that you should negate. The original Bamboo Sword. So this is a slightly different build. And then you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. So they're going to try to get rid of my board here. But that inflicts damage by direct attack. So it has to be a direct attack. So we'll let that go. Send this equip card so you can equip from the deck. Sure. There's the Golden Bamboo Sword. So we'll try to negate this. They'll likely discard a card in order to let this resolve, because they still have plenty of ammo in hand. This is really interesting. First time me recording in a hot minute, and then I face off against Exodia right away. Ooh, this one has a Blue Eyes engine instead. So okay, Royal Magical Library going to do their thing. So we'll just set this to off, and now I'm gonna root for my opponent. Will you draw into Exodia this second? If not, I will kill you. Let's see you do this, opponent. Come on. You have enough draw power in that deck to draw into Exodia. You can do it. I know you can. So, okay. You're gonna do that. So now, you cannot do what you think you're gonna do. So, oh wait, no, you still can. Alright, cool. So that replays the original Bamboo Sword. That will allow you to do your thing. Okay, another original Bamboo Sword. Okay, sure. I don't think you need it anymore, but I guess it's for Royal Magical Libraries spell counters. Another Cursed Bamboo Sword, so you'll draw another card yet again. See, this is why the build that DZ has still stands to this day, because having too many of these equipables is just not good in the slightest. You'd rather have draw spells rather than having a plan B. Just try to turbo it out rather than, you know, just doing this. And if you're gonna do that anyway, I mean, granted, it's a spell counter for Royal Magical Library, so it's fine, but it could have been better. But let's see if they do anything else. Again, if my opponent doesn't do anything else, I may just... Okay, sure, I mean, I can very easily take care of that. If they're just gonna stall, that means they don't have it. But we'll find out if they're like drawing into, if they will eventually draw into it. But we'll see. Okay, so they're getting rid of the original Bamboo Sword. They're gonna equip something else. This the third Cursed Bamboo Sword. Is this once per turn per copy? No, it's not. All right, it's a hard once per turn on that thing. Sure. So they're just gonna stall. So that is fine by me. Unfortunately, we were not able to do they were not able to do too much. I think we'll start with Marshmallow. So let's see what they do from here. Okay, nothing much. sure. Now we're going to use Snatchy. There we go. There we go. Get Snatchy down on the board. And then we're gonna get Mignon. There we go. We're gonna get Mignon. And then we will revive the Marshmallow. And then we'll actually make SP Little Knight. There we go. Before we do anything else, we'll make SP Little Knight. Get rid of the Swords of Revealing Light, because that is what's stopping us from doing our thing here. And look at that! Oh, I'm so happy I got that one. At the very least, I got that one. Mascarena only sees like fringe play here and there. And now we do our thing. Now we use Mitsurugi Prayers. We're gonna tribute away the Habakiri that we have in hand. There we go. And then we'll do both effects. We'll add the last Habakiri in the deck. And then we will special summon. Yes, please. We'll special summon the Murakumo from the graveyard. And then, do you have anything else for that opponent? No? Then we'll just wipe your board. And there we go. All of them end up in the graveyard. I do know that they have a graveyard effect, so I believe only one of them will trigger, or will all of them trigger? I don't remember. All right, cool. So the last effect of Cursed Bamboo Sword, all trigger. That's the one that isn't a hard once per turn. But we can only negate one, so that is unfortunate. So we'll negate the last one. Let's see if my opponent loves the cards in their hand. I mean, we have to do it, so there is that. And because SP Little Knight can't exactly attack anyway, so we'll just do something here. We can actually link these off. Now that I think about it. So yeah, we'll do just that actually. So that we can get even more damage on board. So we'll do just that. I think. So we'll get Dynamundo. This is something I very rarely do. Because we're gonna try to kill my opponent here. So we get Dynamundo down. And then, because it has a downward pointing arrow, so that's going to be fine. Target a card on the field. Shuffle both into the deck. I mean, we can get it back, so that's fine. We'll get back the other Habakiri. We'll shovel them both in. There we go. And then, why can't I do anything? Oh, it's only the opponent's turn. Well, great. So we're gonna do this again. We're gonna use Cupsy. And then we'll get the surprise. There we go. And then we'll get the other Snatchy. There we go. And then, yeah, my opponent's pretty much done. I think I screwed up somewhere there, but yeah, about what I expected. I'm just gonna, wombo combo off, but yeah, I definitely screwed up somewhere there. I just don't know exactly where. I probably would have realized it if this duel had kept going, but yeah, like I was saying, in the time that I was playing off camera, Exodia decks were becoming surprisingly commonplace. Or maybe it's just at the rank that I'm at. So, it's weird that it's happening, but this is Master Duel. It's best of one. You never really truly know what you're facing off against on the rank ladder. So yeah, let's move on to the next duel. Lost a die roll, but my opponent made me go first. So this can only mean one thing. But they also have a small extra deck, so this could be something. 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. A 58 card main deck, so that is interesting in and of itself. So we're gonna normal summon Saji. Let's see if it leads anywhere. No, that's. Again, I am slightly concerned. We'll get Mitsurugi Ritual here. And then, because Saji, weirdly enough, meets the requirements, he is a normal summoned monster with 1,000 or less attack. We'll get Almirage down. That's for later. Now, Mitsurugi Ritual. We're gonna special summon from the deck. We'll get Murakumo. So that... we'll use the one in hand. We'll get Murakumo here. There we go. And then We'll activate Habakiri. There we go. Then we'll get the Mitsurugi Mirror. Opponent is not interacting with me just yet, so we'll see soon enough if this triggers a reaction out of him. We'll tribute off the Murakumo. I've been facing off against weird decks lately, but hey, I'm all for it. I don't just face off against meta all the time, so that is fine by me. Murakumo doing its thing here. We'll add, I guess, another Prayers. The Prayers is always nice. Then we'll special summon the Murakumo because it is nice and all. Okay, there we go. And then we do the thing. Yeah, I guess we do the thing. But in this specific case, we don't really need to summon Gravity Controller because Almirage is already a Link 1, so this will be fine. We'll summon Zombie Vampire in defense position because there have been a lot of cards lately that deal with attack position monsters, so putting stuff in defense position is always a good thing. Ooh, opponent is playing a nearly 60 card pile of Blue Eyes. That is fascinating. So what if, and this is only a what if opponent, what if I take one of your 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon? Let me borrow that one for a second. The unfortunate part is we sadly did not hit. No, we will get that. Or I probably actually should have gotten the White Stone of Ancients instead, because if I remember correctly, yeah, this only needs a level 1 tuner. Yeah, okay, that's definitely a goof on my part. I was not reading the synchros well enough, but I think we're still fine here. Because what we will do is we're going to go into Mascarena, and because we properly special summon the 2 dragons in the graveyard, so yeah, well, actually no. I forgot that she needs actually yeah, I guess we just go with Prayers? Question mark? No, actually, we'll still go with, or we can actually go with, SP Little Knight. Banish the, Beacon of White. Wow, he has a lot of fat in his deck, and, I just want to get rid of it. So we'll use the Link Monster and the Zombie Vampire here. I am already screwing this up so bad, but I think we'll be fine. Because SP is going to banish. I think it's better to banish the tuners now that I think about it. Or this just a draw one. Yeah, I think I'd rather get rid of the Blue Eyes names. And then we'll just set the prayers and hope and pray that my opponent's at least I would hope my opponent's inconsistent deck is not going to amount to much. But we'll find out soon enough. Hopefully a Murakumo board wipe is going to be enough to stop him in his tracks, but we shall see. They are thinking about it though, so we're going to see if my opponent does do anything about it. Okay, Melody of the Awakening Dragon. That's not the negate here. We have bigger targets. I did steal one of their Blue Eyes, so they have slightly less names. Okay, cool. They have a second copy of the alternative dragons, so that is a fascinating way to go about things. We're going to see if they do indeed do their summons, because they know that Murakumo is in the graveyard, so we're going to see. Okay, they're revealing that. I believe they're going to force the issue here. We're not going to activate the effect yet. We're going to see if this gets anywhere. I can't just dodge, you know? I can just dodge. I believe this goes back to me because it was summoned on my field, but I'll find out soon enough with if SP Lieutenant does what I think she does. Ooh, do you have enough materials? I believe they're all in hand. Yeah, you did get one, and then you got the other one, so yeah. We can actually just do this now or later. Now we'll do it later. We're gonna hold off on the last possible moment here. I mean, he could just go into Neo Ultimate, so there is that. I believe that one doesn't have any protection whatsoever. It's just a really big beat stick that they can summon out, so we'll find out soon enough what kind of Blue Eye shenanigans they're up to. It could also just be Twin Burst, so there is that. They got Tyrant, which is interesting. So now we're gonna do this. We're going to special summon from the graveyard. Yes, I would like to special summon. We'll get Murakumo, and this should clean out his board. Murakumo effect, and there we go. That's what you get for not using your alternative effect to pop. So what other stuff do you have, opponent? You could still normal summon because you haven't done that. Okay, sure. Whenever a card or effect that targets this card, send a monster, sure. I don't think that's the problem here. Spirit with Eyes of Blue, sure. Are you going to try to activate its effect while there is a Murakumo in the on the field, opponents? Sure. I'm gonna try to negate that. Test to see if my opponent loves the cards in their hand. We shall see very, very shortly. Do you love the cards in your hand, opponent? If this is your first time playing, opponent, I am so sorry for you. Okay, sure. They love the cards in their hand, so they're going to use the Mausoleum of White. They're going to tribute that off, summon a Blue Eyes from the graveyard, so we're not going to act at the moment. We shall see what they summon off. I'm assuming it's just the alternative, or if they did not goof this up, then I believe they can just summon, I believe, the Priestess. Because I believe, yeah, wait, no, Blue Eyes alternative was special summoned properly first before it was, taken off the board. Let's see. Oh, Blue Eyes Tyrant counts, so that's interesting. Unless it only special summons, yeah, it only summons a Blue Eyes, so Tyrant technically counts, but its effects are negated, and I believe it cannot attack as well. Okay. So that is fine. We'll take that off the board because this needs something on the board in order for it to do its work. So, goodbye, Tyrant. You will be sorely missed, unfortunately. And just on the side here, I actually rebuilt rather, the Blue Eyes deck because there will be insane support coming in the future. Apart from the like the Overframe card for Blue Eyes, there is also an insane hand trap that will be coming for dragons, and not just dragon support, but the Blue Eyes archetype is going to use that card in a really, really big way. Mitsurugi Prayers is not it, Chief, but I believe we can use this on the draw phase. I'm not gonna tribute. I'm actually gonna try to special summon a monster on the field, and yes, we can summon Habakiri so that we can swing in for lethal. Oh my god, this deck. I'm not gonna do too much. I think I'm mathing this wrong, and we don't have too much space as well. So, we're gonna use Murakumo to attack. There we go, and then we'll attack with his own Blue Eyes. Then we'll attack with Espilito Knight, and I miscalculated. Yep, I definitely miscalculated. I forgot that you cannot attack with Habakiri because that's a stipulation on Mitsurugi Prayers. So, we're gonna normal summon Marshmallow. We're gonna get the Snatchy. There we go. Summon the Snatchy. We'll put it here. I could have put it there now that I think about it, but I'm not going to. Snatchy, you do your thing. We'll get the Minion. There we go. Then activate the Minion. We'll summon back the Marshmallow. We'll summon it in defense position because we can. And then, I believe that's it. I can just, save this. And then, or I can, summon Dynamondo again. We do have another Prayers in hand. So, yeah, we can actually just do that. We'll summon the Dynamondo. No. Actually, no. We're not going to summon the Dynamondo. We're actually going to summon Mascarena using these two. And then we'll put it down here below Snatchy so that we have space for next turn. There we go. Yeah, I believe that's it. There we go. And it's actually, now that I think about it, it is good to leave Murakumo on the field because my opponent only has so many cards in hand, and I don't think they're going to want to sacrifice that in order to do what they do here. So yeah, my opponent is caught between a rock and a hard place. I have no idea how else they're gonna get out of this. So Let's just move on to the next duel. Won the die roll at least, so let's see what I can do. Ooh, we have Ash Blossom Bait, if I ever saw one. And then we have the one of fun of Maxi. God, I hate saying that sentence. Oh my god. Now it's just a really, really sacky one of that you better have Ash Blossom called by the grave or cross out designator for, because good god. Pre-prep. Let's see if this gets negation of my opponent. No, it does not. So that means they are fully prepared for the shenanigans that is about to happen. So now we get Habakiri. There we go. We'll use Habakiri here. That still doesn't get a reaction of my opponent, so that is mildly concerning. Then we'll tribute off the Saji effects. We will get Mitsurugi Ritual. There we go. Then Mitsurugi Ritual will try to summon Munakumo out of the deck. Let's see if my opponent... They're still not reacting. Again, this is mildly concerning. We have 2 copies of Habakiri in the hand anyway, so this is fine. We'll summon Munakumo in attack position. There we go. And then I will be like getting rid of him anyway because we'll be doing other things. Then prayers. And then we'll use Mitsurugi Mirror. I'm still waiting for my opponent to react, so that's why I'm not cutting away anytime soon. So we'll tribute off the Murakumo. There we go. Then we'll set the Habakiri on the far left because we can. This is such a cracked-ass card, good god. It is criminal at how much this thing can do. Now we'll add... another prayers to hand. I'd rather keep the Habakiri in the deck. Then we'll summon the Murakumo yet again. There we go. Opponent is still not reacting, so I think it's safe to assume that they don't have any interaction at all. So, I'm going to just skip to my end board, or if my opponent finally decides to do something along the line. So, I'll just see you guys there. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the perfect yummy board. Because we've set up the graveyard with a lot of bullshit. We've set up our field with a lot of bullshit. And we even have the floodgate that should probably be banned at the ready. So, yeah. And we, unfortunately, cannot use Max C while Herald of the Arclight is up on the field. However, the moment my opponent forces the issue with Herald... they're gonna be facing the wrath of Maxi anyway. So, yeah, they're pretty goddamn screwed, no matter what they try to do here. And we can even recycle, quote-unquote, Herald of the Arclight next turn because Samsara Sorrow Cat is in our graveyard. I have no idea how my opponent's gonna walk out of this. And opponent is playing a jank deck. They do have a 15-card extra deck, so that is mildly concerning. They can just, you know, swing into this, all things considered, because it is 2300, so it can do something, but you don't have Toon World. You cannot do your shit because you don't have Toon World. Unless one of your cards in hand is Toon World, but I have no idea what my opponent's going to be on. So we're just going to try to clock my opponent clean. No, I will not tribute a monster. I will special summon the Murakumo. I am so sorry for my opponents this video. I'm just trying to climb the rank ladder here, but there we go. Get rid of your Goblin attack, Toon Goblin attack force. Do you have anything else, opponent? Oh my god. We're just gonna move on to the next duel if my opponent doesn't, you know, have anything else interesting to do. Won the die roll, so let's see what I can do. Opponent is rocking default sleeves, but they do have the new IP Masquerena mate, so I am already jealous. I think I also have that because I bought one of the bundles, but we are, again, confronted with a hand that I do not like in the slightest. So, normal summoning Saji here is going to be make or break. Although, not really. We can just link him off for Almirage, and then we can use Cupsy here. Or rather, Cooksy. Or that Cookie. I mean, it's the same way. Now, we will... So we're just gonna do it again. Get Almirage. There we go. Or we can just use the entire Mitsurugi engine like later. Then we just do this first. Make my opponent think about the other possibility of this deck. So we're gonna get Cupsy, Yummy Way. We're just gonna do the whole rigmarole here. So Cupsy, Yummy Way. Then setting it in defense position because I remember that I think it was Draco Tail, the one that has stuff that deals with attack position stuff. So we get Cupsy, the main deck Cupsy, and of course Marshmallow, and then we'll special summon Cupsy effect. After that we'll get Yummy Surprise. There we go. And then, no, I don't want to activate that yet. Not yet, anyway. Now, we'll use Yummy Surprise. Special summon from the graveyard. We'll special summon the Marshmallow. There we go. And then, Marshmallow effect. We'll get back the Surprise. Now, this is dangerous because opponent is rocking a normal-sized deck. We could go for... Herald right away, but I am if I do that, then that means I will lose Murakumo here. Although my opponent hasn't done anything like at all, so I think we can keep pushing rather than playing scared. First we're gonna use Mitsurugi Ritual. We will summon from the deck because that's our only way to get into Habakiri here. Okay, then Habakiri. There we go. So go into Habakiri, and then we'll go into Mirror, which will then get us into the other shit. And yeah, I don't know what they were waiting for. I guess they were bluffing, but I think they also sensed that I was testing the waters, see how far I can push it. But then they gave up their bluff. So yeah, I'm gonna check in post to see what kind of deck they were up to. But we're just gonna move on to the next duel. So I checked what my previous opponent was, and he was apparently a Vanquish Soul K9 player that bricked to high heaven. I am at a loss for words. That could have been the first duel of me catching Vanquish Soul K9 on camera, but no, apparently I was not graced by God to face off against that archetype yet. So we're gonna see what they do. Is this another Exodia deck? Opponent deck, Master Duel, please. I have been facing against. I mean, granted, I did face off against one meta deck, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. But opponent is likely playing stun? Question mark. I will find out soon enough. The cards in his back row could very well just be okay. Macrocosmos answers my question. I think I can still just push through with this. So we get Saji. We're going to use Mitsurugi Ritual because it serves no other purpose. And then we're gonna use Ritual. We're going to not summon from deck. We're gonna summon from hand because we literally have everyone in hand. We're gonna get rid of the Habakiri in hand because that is serving no purpose. And then we'll literally just attack with what we have here. I don't think my opponent can do anything. Then Murokumo, no, Chainlink 1 Habakiri, Murokumo Chainlink 2, because we can still search somehow. We're going to see if my opponent reacts to this. No, they do not. Alright, cool. So we just wipe their board. It was a Morphing Jar. Very interesting choice, opponent. Okay. Move to combat. Swing in for 4,200. And I'll just see you at the end of this duel, opponent? Question mark? Whatever that is on the back, I will probably never know. I'll just see you guys at the next interesting point, or, we just move on to the next duel. Won the die roll, and we shall see what my opponent can do to stop my advance. This is one of those bad hands, unfortunately. So, we live or die by these things resolving. We'll find out soon enough what will happen. So, Lollipo. Then we get Snatchy. Then Snatchy effect. We do the thing here. Now we'll actually just place it from hand. because we can. And because we are working on thin margins here, we'll actually just do it like this. So now that happens, and then we will properly synchro summon here. We'll synchro summon here. We'll use the effect much later down the chain. Then we get Cupsy Yummy Way. Then Yummy Way effect. We'll get the two most important members of this crew, unless this is Ash Blossom or Infinite Impermanence, which in that case we are screwed. Actually, yeah, no, we're screwed nonetheless. So we'll be forced to tag out here. Then we'll just work with whatever materials in the with whatever materials here. Now we do this, and then that, then Lollipo yet again, and then they don't have anything worth banishing anyway. So I believe Lollipo's search effect is only once per turn. Yeah, all of them are only once per turn, unfortunately, and they're all hard once per turns. Shuffle it into the deck. You can banish it instead. I'd rather not use that. We're gonna try now for Lollipo. Yeah, we literally cannot do anything else here. Or we can just wait, and then we'll just, sit on this. Because we literally have no bridge to get to Murakumo, because we don't have enough level 1s to feed to that. So we'll just be satisfied with a Book of Moon, an Ash Blossom, and an Infinite Impermanence. So let's just hope that that will be enough to stop whatever it is my opponent is going to try to do. We'll find out soon enough. Let's see what they do from here. Opponent is thinking about it, but we're going to see. It is the mirror. Oh no. We're gonna Ash Blossom that. I know we should not Ash Blossom that, but we should stop them from doing too much here. We're going to stop the field spell search once they summon the Snatchy here. If they are looking for the Cupsy, if they're looking for the quick play spell, then that would be great for us. Again, this matchup is just a nightmare to navigate, because anything they have in hand could very well lead to an OTK. So we'll find out soon enough if it will be enough, if this will be enough. So we negate that. They won't have access to the field spell, so they won't be able to extend as much. But if they have other yummy names in hand, then it will be a pause of concern. This only targets in the deck. It will get shuffled in, so sure, that is fine. That is an inherent special summon. So we'll see what else they summon off of this, if at all. They can't quick synchro on my turn. Well, not yet. They'll only be able to do it on my turn anyway. So, let's see what else they do here. If they do indeed do something here, okay, sure. They're getting a 2. They're getting Cupsy Yummy Way. That is fine. So it will be able to dodge out of the removal that this deck has. Well, quote-unquote removal. Let's see what else they do here. I'm going to hold off on summoning Cookie from the extra deck until the last possible moment. Okay, sure. They're getting another copy. They're getting a copy of Cookie, and they're getting a copy of Yummy, or rather of Marshmallow. Their names are all Yummy. Good God. Okay, so they're discarding Marshmallow. So that means Surprise is in hand or somewhere in rotation already. Okay, sure. Cookie, special summon. Sure, it loses attack, but I don't think that matters. Sure, that is fine by me. Okay, let's see what else they do here. We'll see soon enough. They could go for Sorrow Cat. I only have one card in hand. Okay, sure. Going for Linkuriboh. That is interesting. I don't know why you would do that here. I guess I'll find out soon enough. Oh, you are not what I thought you were. Oh boy. One of the cuter archetypes to come out of recent memory. Okay, sure. You're going to give that thing Okay, cannot be destroyed for the first time each turn. Sure. I would have summoned from deck instead, but I don't know what you're doing here, opponent. Sure, Espilitonite. That is a targeted banish. Sure. What are you banishing? Are you going to banish from a graveyard, which is honestly already decent? Yeah, target a card on the field or in either graveyard. Did she already target? Now that I think about it, you can target one card on either field. She is targeting Mignon. Ooh, that is fine. Question mark. Wait, what's the booty on our cookie here? She has no booty at all. Oh dear. Well, she already targeted, so we'll just do this. Let's see if my opponent has any negation for this one. I would assume she does. Yep, there we go. Yep, forcing the issue so that it basically accomplishes the same thing. It does stop me from synchro summoning, but it does prevent Espilitonite from attacking. So that is fine by me. Although I will have to contend with the fact that he has an active Espilitonite on board. And I sadly don't have anything to combat that. We'll find out soon enough. That is not it, Chief. The one I'm fun of is not going to be of much help here. So we'll just try to search again. Let's see if this leads anywhere. If they still have shit in hand, then we'll sadly be sad. Let's see. Okay, sure. Again, that is not going to do too much. We'll just tag out. Opponent, what are you doing? You know I can do that. You're also a yummy deck. Oh my god, we'll just summon these two back. Then we'll banish. We'll need to banish a name from the graveyard because that's what Lollipo does if he's summoned off of an effect of a yummy synchro. So we'll do that. We'll get these two. Then we'll discard Marshmallow. There we go. I'm actually going to try to kill my opponent this turn. So Chain Link 1 Snatchy, then Chain Link 2 Lollipo. So that we chain block this bitch. We'll actually have to banish a name, a really good name at that. So getting rid of, although they do have ways to recycle this shit, so I will not be surprised at all if they somehow do something about this. So we'll just get rid of a Cupsy while we can, before we do anything else here. So Lollipo does his thing. Yes, I'd rather banish that instead. Thank you very much. Then Snatchy gets Mignon. And then we'll summon Cupsy. There we go. And then Cupsy... wait, we did not get Mignon? Oh god, I forgot that it's been banished. Great. Now we can just go into the Mitsurugi line. I'm looking at this board. We'll do that later. We'll get Surprise. There we go. And then we'll okay. We'll get Lollipo Yummy Way. I forgot that we don't have access to the thing anymore. Great. So we'll use Lollipo here. And then oh right, I forgot that we can do that. Target a card your opponent controls and then you destroy it. Sure. We'll do that. We'll pop this. And then Lollipo Yummy Way. There we go. And then I believe that'll be it from my opponent. Okay, yep. We'll summon the two non-synchros because we already have everything we need. There we go. And then a Croaky, or Croquet, as I prefer to call it. Marshmallow. I believe this also gets from banishment. Okay, no, it doesn't matter. The effect is negated. No, we just go into Herald, and then we do the thing from there. I think we just summon the other Snatchy because we can. There we go. Summon the other Snatchy. I think I'll just leave it there as insurance for next turn. Oh wait, no. I probably needed that. I needed that space. Great. That was a bumble and a half. So I believe we can still. No, we can't do it, unfortunately. So that was a bumble and a half. I think we can still do this. So we'll just quick synchro here. Well, actually, yeah, we can still do this. So we'll use that. We'll use this, and we'll use this. We'll just use everything. What? Okay, I did not know that that was how it worked. I thought he used his own body, but okay, sure. I guess we just summon this back? Question mark? I am doing all sorts of fumbles here. So at least we end up with two bodies. So it's not nothing, but I definitely could have done that better. Chainlink 1, Herald, Chainlink 2, SP Lutheran. Okay, we somehow brought it back, chat. We somehow brought it back. We'll banish another one of their names. Banishing Snatch is always nice. And now we're just going to search the Mitsurugi part of our deck. I'm gonna keep this all in, goddammit, because you guys will learn a thing or two when I'm the one piloting a deck that's this complicated. So we use Habakiri. We have 90 seconds left, so we're gonna try to speed through this. We'll tribute off the Saji effect. We'll do the thing here. Sad that SP Lieutenant can't attack this turn, but I think what we'll be setting up on board is going to be more than enough to give my opponent pause. It's sort of good ritual. We will summon from hand. We won't summon from deck because the one that we're going to special summon is already in our hand. So we do this, and then this goes here. Murakumo is on the field. There we go. And then Habakiri effect. We will get the mirror. Then we're going to use the mirror. There we go. We're going to try to speed through this as fast as possible. Special summon that. Tribute off the Murakumo. There we go. And then put that on the leftmost side. There we go. And then mirror is now in the graveyard. Then Murakumo does its thing. We will search prayers. There we go. Then we'll summon Murakumo onto the field. And then we attack for a lot of damage. Because if we summon anything off of those, why can't we attack again? Oh my god. Alright, fine. We'll attack next turn. Now, we'll actually go into Zombie Vampire. We could, but I'm not going to. We'll just put prayers and this face down. And then we'll just max it on my opponent's turn. So that's a fun thing to do. Let's see if my opponent still has stuff to do after I hit them with the one I'm fun of. Oh my god, even I would be salty if the last card in their hand was a maxi, but yeah. We're gonna cut it here and faced off against a very wide, a little too wide of range of decks today, but faced off against two meta decks in particular. One of them brick to high heaven, but the other one put up somewhat of a fight, but otherwise we pulled through, even with my fumbles. So yeah, as you guys can see, this deck is not exactly the easiest thing to pilot because it has so many branching paths that it's honestly choice paralysis is what will get you with this deck. But otherwise, yeah, there's a reason Yamitsurugi is the way it is. So we're gonna cut it here, and if you guys like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time, toodles.